KREM 2 News begins now.
Hello, thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News Week in Review. I'm Tim Pham. In the next half hour, we'll get you caught up on some of the biggest stories in the Inland Northwest this past week.
Inside a Boise boardroom,
we have those hard conversations.
Idaho's education leaders are taking a hard look at a new course of action. Changes could be on the way for the state's public colleges and universities, eradicating programs for diversity, equity, and inclusion.
This is not about removing support where people need it, but organizing it such that all students have access to all. It's really an inclusionary point of view.
The Board of Education is considering adopting this resolution, which states institutions shall ensure no central office, policy, procedure, or initiative is dedicated to DEI. That could close DEI offices and centers at 4 universities, including the University of Idaho.
Word equity, diversity, and inclusion, I feel like people think you need to be diverse just to be a part of these organizations. I look at these offices more as equalizers.
Students and alum like Ismael Mendoza, who spoke to our sister station KTVB early this year,
100%.
say DEI programs aren't about excluding other students, but the perception of exclusion or segregation.
In other words, diversifying and segregating groups
Has prompted lawmakers like Senator Scott Herndon to propose legislation barring such initiatives in higher ed.
So that's not how you get to equal treatment. The way you get to equal treatment is basically have a level playing field.
As of last month, a legislative task force is looking into DEI within Idaho's colleges. University of Idaho student Andrea Morales says she would have been lost without it.
These programs not only cultivated a sense of belonging for me at the university in a place where I feel like I see very little representation.
At least one board member worries the language may mean unintended cuts.
So what I'd hate to see here is that this language is interpreted in a way where we get rid of stuff that really makes it different for students. So what I would ask is that we really vet this language with our presidents and ask them, all right, if this is the language, what changes on your campus?
Even though no action's been taken, Idaho State University is already restructuring its diversity and gender resource centers, now considered student support services, called the Office of Equal Opportunity and Title IX.
I'm here at the University of Idaho, where students protested across campus on Thursday after finding out that diversity, equity, and inclusion programs could be taken away.
This is what unity looks like!
Strong words from U of I students as dozens walked across campus after hearing word about DEI offices potentially being closed down. The Idaho State Board of Education reviewed and wrote a draft of a resolution on Thursday, saying no central office, policy, procedure, or initiative would be dedicated to diversity, equity, and inclusion.
This is why we have to fight!
It's a draft students don't want to see as a reality.
It is very upsetting and shocking and frankly disgusting.
Elias Schmidt is a fourth-year student at U of I, working as the administrative assistant for the student organization, Unity, an organization that's designed to promote and support multicultural organizations. Schmidt organized the protest against something she says hits home.
This has been a family away from my family that I've been able to create.
A family Schmidt says is sticking together during the uncertain time.
We are mostly trying to say that we are not just a political number. We are not just a demographic. We are real people, and their political games that they're having at the state are affecting us each individually in catastrophic levels.
Connor McAvoy.
This is what diversity looks like!
KREM 2 News.
Spokane's streets department has been ready to go into winter weather mode. They have been on standby for a week now. Staff are working 20 hours a day monitoring forecasts and conditions. There are also 4 satellite sites with supplies and equipment ready to go.
Really helpful when we can access them quickly. We don't have those drivers having to, drive 10 miles, each way in order to get those materials.
Wednesday morning's expected snow isn't causing concern. Kirsten Davis with Public Works says they're waiting to see how much accumulates.
It's a wait and see, but having all the tools with us. So our goal is to be flexible and responsive. That's why we have a lot of those materials in 4 different places throughout the city so that we can react faster.
Davis says they are also well stocked on salt and sand. They started accumulating that back in the summer. They'll add to that pile throughout the winter as needed. The snow season operations run through March 15th. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
When snow starts falling, they will be out, and we have the ability to call in extra crews if necessary.
The first snow of the season prompts the risk of accidents on the road.
And we do see an uptick in the number of collisions, especially in the first snowfall, because there is kind of that learning period once again that we go through here in the Inland Northwest with that first snow.
Ryan Overton with WSDOT's Eastern Region says while there are many factors that can lead to an accident, he says the biggest is not being aware of your surroundings.
Distracted driving, following too close, inattention, in the case of snow and ice, trying to turn too quickly, slowing down with not enough space between you and the vehicle in front.
He says one habit he's seen drivers do is try to move ahead of snowplows as they travel 35 miles per hour or less. Overton says spreading de-icer allows its placement to be concise, staying on the roads as much as possible.
The faster we go, the more scatter we get, so then the material isn't actually staying in the lane, it's scattering off to the shoulders.
The same speed goes for plowing.
The faster we go, the farther we're going to be pushing that snow off the blade of our plows. So 35 miles an hour kind of keeps it onto the shoulder itself.
All are protocols Overton hopes will be remembered by drivers across the city.
We've picked up two-stroke engines, blocks of ice, large boulders before, and when we're pushing that snow to the right and somebody tries to pass, that's the vehicle that's trying to pass that's going to get hit with those items.
Overton says while this winter season is being prepared like others, anything can happen.
Every weather system's different, so how the roadway's going to look is going to be dependent on Mother Nature. But we just ask that the traveling public give them plenty of space to do their jobs, so that way we can make it safe for the public and get the public from A to B.
This morning, residents in Kirkland woke up without power, and scenes like this one are what we're seeing through a lot of the city this morning. Trees falling on power lines like this one here in Kirkland. Neighbors told us the tree originally took up the entire road. Neighbors worked together to saw it off and move the branches out of the street. You can see the progress they've made. Repair crews haven't been by yet to restore these lines and remove the tree, so hopefully they'll be able to do that soon. We talked to some utility workers earlier who say they're working as fast as they can to get power back up. A lot of neighborhoods east of Seattle, including this one, are without power, and outside utility agencies are also stepping in to help. Utility workers have come in from other parts of Washington state, Canada, Idaho, and Oregon. Energy companies say they'll be monitoring weather conditions this weekend. They also tell us crews will be ready to respond if more outages occur within the next couple of days as the inclement weather hits. Now, a neighbor I talked to earlier said they were told that restoration times would likely be by Saturday for this area, but we saw some crews working earlier this morning trying to restore power in other parts of Kirkland, so hopefully they'll be able to get the lights back on before Saturday. In Kirkland, Savannah Welch, King 5 News.
The Spokane region's current homeless housing plan was created in partnership with Spokane County and the city of Spokane. Before the new plan can be adopted by the Continuum Care Board, which is the decision-making body for the region, regional partners are collecting community input on the drafted version.
A 5-year homeless housing plan is required for the Spokane region to receive state and federal funding related to homelessness. The draft of the new plan before Spokane Valley City Council tonight outlines the new objectives it needs to meet. They include promote an equitable, accountable, and transparent homeless crisis response system, strengthen the homeless service provider workforce, and house everyone in a stable setting that meets their need. The plan includes several actions to meet the identified objectives, such as developing and maintaining a by-name list as part of the objective to promote a homeless crisis response team. This is a real-time list of all people in each subpopulation experiencing homelessness. The plan says this is a known best practice because the robust data helps coordinate access and service prioritization. The proposed plan would also create a system-wide move-on strategy. It would establish a system framework that identifies when a client is ready to move on from permanent supportive housing with intensive services and into a more independent environment. The plan says this would open up a supportive housing bed for another vulnerable individual. As for strengthening the homeless services workforce, the plan includes strategies that would improve retention of homeless provider workers, improve provider safety, and decrease time their positions stay vacant. Now, the plan isn't finalized yet, and the Continuum of Care Board is seeking input through a community survey.
This is an opportunity for those who live in the region, in Spokane Valley, in the city of Spokane, throughout the county, to help advise how the region addresses homelessness.
Now, the survey will be up until December 1st. Then the Continuum of Care Board will update the new 5-year plan and submit it for federal funding by the end of this year. It still has until December 2025 to submit the plan for state funding through the Department of Commerce. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Spokane Public Schools say they have seen a 28% increase since last year of students facing homelessness. On top of that, 277 students are without a legal guardian or parent.
For this holiday season, school officials are highlighting the increased need for support.
The last time our numbers were this high was really during that housing crisis of like 2008, 2009.
The district says there's no one reason behind the increase, but several factors. They say they've seen students at local shelters, going home-to-home couch surfing, sleeping in cars, or staying in a motel.
We had identified 1,222 students who are experiencing housing instability just within Spokane Public Schools.
To help those students, the district has kicked off its annual gift card drive. The district stresses that the gift card drive provides students with essential items, helping to make their winter break a little more cheery and bright, especially for those uncertain about where they'll sleep next.
For those interested in helping a student in need during the holiday season, the gift card drive goes through December 10th. In downtown Spokane, Regan Gallo, KREM 2 News.
This is a great day because I'm out here at Fairchild Air Force Base. I have a KC-135 parked right behind me. In front of me, I have thousands of items that all of you out there donated for the Treats to Troops campaign. I can't say thank you enough. We're so grateful that you took the time, money, effort to go to your local Washington Trust Bank branch, drop off the items. We collected those, brought them to base, and now they're being sorted and packaged by the spouses group out here on the base. And some of the items are pretty traditional. We have lots of trail mix, single packages, things like this that we can put in, corn nuts, the always popular beef jerky and beef sticks. They're continuing to put all of them out so that we can send them in packages to every person, every man and woman deployed at Fairchild Air Force Base around the globe who we can get an address for, we send a package to. And today it gets packaged up, and then the spouses group behind the scenes takes care of addressing each one, and they're safely and securely stored here at the base. Staff Sergeant Senna is with me today, and you're helping package up. Feel good to be part of it?
Oh yeah, it feels great. No, it's awesome. I'm glad we can actually contribute something here to our, our fellow wingmen downrange.
Because it's hard being away from home during the holiday season, so this at least lets people know we're thinking of them.
Oh yeah, no, it's great that we have, our community members out here thinking about us and giving us a little taste of home, especially during the holiday season. It's always so hard being away, but getting something as simple as a granola bar, or for me personally, like hot sauce, definitely goes a long way and makes the deployment a lot easier.
You can always tell if I've packaged one because it has a lot of hot sauce and a lot of coffee, right?
Oh yeah, no, and it goes a long way. I'll tell you that right now.
We like that. All right, I'm going to let the volunteers do their thing to continue to package up again. We're expecting up to about 350 gift packages to go out this season. We'll keep you updated on everything Treats to Troops, but one final thank you to all of you who participated, and I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us on KREM 2 Plus for your KREM 2 News Weekend Review. It's been a busy week here in the Inland Northwest. Let's get you caught up on some of the news you might have missed.
Having carrots as a vector of, an E. coli outbreak is not something I've seen before.
And Bill Marler has seen a lot in his more than 30-year career as a food safety lawyer. Over the weekend, the CDC says 39 people in 18 states have been infected.
The fact that there are 8 in the state of Washington, certainly is concerning.
7 of the cases are in Western Washington. According to the health department, the 8th is in Franklin County.
I think it's unlikely that we're going to see more illnesses occurring now.
There is a Grimway Farms facility in Pasco, Washington. However, a spokesperson with Grimway Farms says none of the recalled product was grown or processed in Washington.
That's not going to stop me. I mean, these things happen and you got to wash your food and cook it and take your chances.
The FDA and CDC say there shouldn't be any recalled carrots in stores now. They were sold in several grocery chains between August 14th and October 23rd and are past the best if used date, as both agencies continue to investigate what happened.
Investigators, going back and looking at all the shipping records, then they're going back to where they were processed, then they're going back to look at what carrots went into the system at a given time. They're going to try to figure out where these carrots were grown.
Just imagine your doctor knowing within minutes whether your recent medical test shows cancer.
But we didn't really realize how fast it would be and the fact that it would be so much more accurate.
Washington State professor and biologist Michael Skinner said this deep learning AI model could revolutionize medicine.
It truly can be done in minutes to 10 minutes sort of period, rather than the day or two or week or two that you have to wait to get the image analysis on your MRI by your physician.
Researchers are using artificial intelligence to analyze high-resolution images with billions of pixels to show the kidneys, ovaries, testes, and prostates of rats and mice.
You can actually take that image, run it through this type of program, and it can tell you exactly where the abnormalities are. And it would still have to be trained each time.
The result, this AI model that not only identifies potential cancer or gene problems, but in some cases spots signs that trained human teams miss, almost down to a single cell.
You had potentially a tumor in the liver, and the tumor had 2 or 3 cells growing in the liver initially. That's it. You could actually see, because of the shape and the size of those cells, that those were actually tumor cells.
If the AI model fails, which is rare, scientists say just like the human mind, it learns from its mistakes.
Today is the Battle of the Bag. So we want to get to Tom Sherry and Mark Hanrahan, as well as the WSU and EWU basketball players who are helping us out tonight.
But as you mentioned, on the Rosars on the South Hill here on 29th with Eastern Washington men's basketball team. Thank you guys for being here.
Oh, look at this. We've got 5 bags being bought. Oh my gosh.
Check this card out right here. He came in and purchased all these bags.
So Isaiah, you got little girls like this coming in to see you and the gang. How does that make you feel?
It's awesome, and she bought a bag.
That's right, you were selling bags left and right.
Happy Thanksgiving, go Cougs! Happy Thanksgiving, go Eagles!
What a night it has been for Tom's Turkey Drive, 25th annual Tom's Turkey Drive. We call it Battle of the Bags, and we're going to count up how many bags we sold here at the University Rosars store versus the one on the 29th where the Eagles are at. I've got, right now, I've got Cedric Coward with me, one of the all-time great Cougars and formerly an Eagle. Yep. So you've spent 4 years here basically, right? In how many in Spokane and Pullman?
Three.
Years,
yeah,
okay.
my first year went D3
yeah,
in
you're
Oregon.
one of those great stories, aren't you?
Yes,
Came out of Fresno, right?
Yes, sir.
And some of these guys overlooked you I don't know why. And so you did D3 ball.
Yes, sir.
And then the Eagles are D1 ball. They
Yes, sir.
saw you.
Yes, sir.
Your coach.
Yes,
your
Dave Riley.
And Dave Riley. And then Coach Riley goes to WSU.
Yep, and I'm following him. Wherever he goes, I go.
So you are really one of these fabulous success stories. And have you gotten a chance to play against any of those teams that overlooked you?
A couple. I'm not gonna name them, but a couple. And we still gonna play against some of them this year. But it's just it's like you said, it's an underdog story. I love being an underdog. That's what I thrive on. And then just
this underdog 2 days ago scored 30 points in the last game.
Yeah, I just go out and prove myself right. I don't really try to prove others wrong because I know what I'm capable of. I know what God put me through for a reason, and I'm just following His plan, and then, like I said, prove myself right.
Let me tell you what you've been doing down here. I love you, Cedric. You and the team have moved so many of these Tom's Turkey Drive bags. So we were talking earlier, each one of those bags means a family in need gets a Thanksgiving dinner, and you and the team have sold hundreds of these tonight because people are Cougars fans and Cedric Coward fans.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we can sell these bags and feed families in need, Thanksgiving is all about family. I'm a big family guy, and the thought of having people who aren't able to eat Thanksgiving food and celebrate with their family, the fact that buying one of these bags that can do that for them is great.
You're a senior. You graduating with your degree.
Yes, sir, in social sciences.
We're gonna enjoy seeing you this year, and we're gonna root for you in the future. And we hope you know that always Pullman and Spokane are always your home.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Cedric. We appreciate
Thank you. Appreciate it. Go Cougs.
There you go. Back to you guys.
Thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News Weekend Review. For the most current news throughout the weekend, you can watch our latest newscast and weather forecast right here on KREM 2+. Just look for the video in the bottom navigation menu. I'm Tim Pham. Thanks for watching.